Welcome to the big show.
He could go all the way.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the main event. Let's get ready to rumble!
Oh, shit. What the hell? What's up, Chris? Oh, man.
What's going on, man?
It's been a damn long week.
And what's going on, everybody, man? This is another episode 18 of The Rundown, powered by the PFA. I am your host with the most. I'm Chris Cousins. As always, by my side, my man in the stands is Brian Mitchum. And we are here this week ready to put a long season of 2A football to bed.
I'm tired.
We got the first round of championship playoff football coming up this weekend. And we're going to recap last week, week 8. Had some very exciting games, some disappointing games as well. And we're going to get into that. But Brian, man, like you said, long week, man. How you doing, buddy?
I'm tired, man. Tired. Been working outside in the 100-degree heat all week. I'm a little worn out, but I digress, man. Indeed, we do, Chris. In the 3A, we have some important games as well, with some seeding implications coming up for the 2, 3, and 4 spots. So things could get interesting come Sunday when the dust settles. As far as who can lock in the seedings and who will have to wait until the regular season is over. Chris, who do we have on the show tonight?
Well, on tonight's show, we're going to have from the Phantoms, we're going to have their old line coach, Richard. Let me get his last name because I don't want to be wrong. We have Richard Daubert, the offensive line coach from the Phantoms. We're going to talk to him about the upcoming playoff game against Lima. And then we also have from the Pit Bulls, Mr. Reggie Rogers. I can't give you a specific position. We're just going to put athlete behind his name. And we're going to talk to him about the upcoming playoff game against the Northern Kentucky Wolfpack that they have coming up as well. And hopefully, we'll have the commissioner, Mr. Duncan, stop by this evening to spread some light on the playoffs and the midway point, we should say, of 3A football. Talk about, like I said, those big games that we got coming up this week, 1 versus 2 and 3 versus 4. So we have that and more. So we're going to go pay some bills real quick, and we'll be right back after this.
Hey, y'all, this is Aaron Sanders, owner of the Flag City Phantoms, and you're watching Rundown, baby. Let's go. Yeah!
And we're back.
All right.
Welcome back. Everybody that's watching, we have few people in the watching, so let's get the chat going. And if you are watching on Facebook or YouTube, don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button. Helps us out, helps us keep the content and coming to you guys. And yeah. So let's jump right into week 8 recap, man. Start off with probably the most disappointing game, not because of the teams playing in it or the score line, but because it got canceled due to weather. Really, man, this could have been a gunsling showdown till the end of the game, and it got canceled because of severe weather, which I understand. You got to be safe. It's about people's safety overall. Live another day to play some more football, but it was 21-13 in the third quarter when they started the game back up, and it got canceled. I mean, the Phantoms have been we've seen several teams from the PFA play the Racine Raiders this year, and I think the Phantoms are the ones that have kept it this close. The only team so far this year to keep it close. So it disappointing that the game got canceled due to weather, and it was ruled a no contest. So,
well, I'll say this: definitely saddened for the weather to have to end a great football game. I will say also that the Bills did play them very tough as well. They took the 21-0 loss to them over 4 quarters. But I will say for the Phantoms, man, it was a great game so far. It was going back and forth. They definitely look like they can hang with them. Shout out to Ben Kershaw and the boys. So definitely want to give them their kudos, man. Sorry they couldn't, finish the game so we can see the rest of the outcome. It was definitely looking very hopeful for the Phantoms, be able to maybe pull off the upset. I love me a good upset.
mm-hmm.
So definitely happy for them as they get ready and prepared to go into the playoffs this week against Lima. They'll be hosting that game as the number 1 seed. Just hate that it had to end like this. You always hate for a good football game to have to be called by weather. It's very, very much out of your control. But again, player safety, fan safety always comes first with the PFA. So hopefully we can get that rematch scheduled for next year and see how that turns out.
Exactly. See if they can come down to the Flag City's home field and play them at home this next coming year. I'm sure they'll be in the talks in the off season, so we'll keep everybody posted on that. And next game was Lima. What can we say about Lima? I don't think there was 2 more people excited to see Lima get their first win of the season than Chris and I. And we're glad that Lima got a win, that it wasn't a forfeit win. It was an actual one-sided butt kicking, it looked like, 38-6. And congratulations to Karen, the owner of the Limas, and the guys and the staff of Lima.
Hey, man, I can't be more happier than I am for this pick'em. I've won a lot of pick'ems, but this one right here, like I told you, it means more when you go out there and you win, okay? You win the game, not a forfeit. You win the game. And to do it in this fashion, hats off to Lima Warriors. It definitely shows, like I said, you are a team that is building. You are a team that is not going to stay down for much longer. Hopefully this catapults you that, hey, you got a playoff game. You're in the playoffs, all right? It's going against the number 1 seed, but, hey, you played a hell of a first half against them in the last game. Take this momentum. New coaches going to this game. Hey, try to shock the world, baby. Try to shock
the world.
Okay.
Upset alert. Upset alert.
Upset alert, man.
Will we get the upset alert on Saturday? Now, I won't be home Saturday to watch all the games, so I'm counting on you, Chris, to keep me posted.
Hey, I'm definitely going to be tapped in. Shout out to Viking Rider who's in the chat, man. Yeah, y'all needed this, man. You needed it. I'm happy you got it. I'm happy I was right. And I'm happy you didn't lose to the Canton Hurricanes. I swear
real quick, we're gonna jump back to this game real quick. One thing we forgot to mention is that Flag City is a 2A team playing a 3A number 2 team in the country and have scored. That was the most points that any team has scored on them this year in 2 quarters of football. And
okay.
So just a little point on that. So anyways, congratulations.
Shout out to Mark Garcia and the boys. Mark said it's already in motion. So they must be setting that up again. Yeah, man, run it back, man. Run it back.
Motor City Rams and Glass City Tigers, 35-14. This definitely was not as close of a game as I would have thought it was going to be. But the Motor City Rams are 7-1 for a reason. So
this game right here was definitely a battle of will. We talked about it last week that this was going to be a time to shine for Glass City to try to come back from the depths they had, the hole that they had put themselves in at the beginning of the season. This right here definitely was a banger. It was 14-14 at halftime. Okay, 14-14 at halftime. 14-14 at halftime, and then BTA came out and just flat out rolled, scoring, as you can see, 21 unanswered in the second half, and completely dominated in dominating fashion, and proved why they are the number 2 seed in the division, and definitely why this is going to be a good game coming up for them against those Detroit Ravens this weekend. So shout out to Glass City. Unfortunately, they weren't able to get the job done at home. They will go in. I'm thinking, who do they play this weekend? We'll get to that later. But
they play Racine this weekend at home.
They play Racine. Hey, good way to try to redeem yourselves going up against one of the elite. So hopefully they can get the boys refocused and resettled and jump back on that winning train against Racine. We'll see. But shout out to the BTA boys, man, for doing what they needed to do and staying in that number 2 position.
Definitely. It's a we'll talk about it a little later. It's kind of a dogfight for that 2, 3, and 4 spot. We kind of already know that the 1 spot is the Ravens, of course, and then down at the bottom you got Glass City in that 5th spot. I don't think they're going to be able to move up with only 2 weeks left, and of course, Cincinnati Bucks.
This was their moment to try to climb up. It was their moment to try to bring Motor City down into the muck and guck of that middle pack with the Bills and the Gators. But this was their chance. Unfortunately, they weren't able to take care of the opportunity, and they fumbled it, no pun intended. And now they're probably going to stay in, like you said, stay in that 5th seed with 2 weeks left. And they're going to be looking to play against the number 4 seed, whoever that may be.
Right. And next game is the Raven and the Cincinnati Bucks, man. I thought this game was kind of close at first, and then I blinked a couple times, and then next thing I know, it was 31-12.
Well, it definitely was close in the first quarter. The Bucks came out very strong, very composed against the Ravens. And as the Ravens do in Ravens fashion, just kept grinding it out, sticking to the plan, running the ball, and were able to pull out the victory. As you can see, scored another 18 unanswered points throughout the game, and ran away from it all the way. Mr. Marcus, see, I will be at the Northern Kentucky Pitbull game. I will be filming live there this weekend. And then I will be at the championship game as well, wherever that may be. We'll just say that.
I'm hoping we can.
They got a big game coming up here this week. Like you just said, they are the number 1 seed. They have that already locked in. You definitely don't want to take a loss going into the last 2 weeks against an opponent that you probably might see in the conference championship. So this game is definitely big for them to make a statement, as well as big for BTA to make a statement against the Ravens. Sin City, unfortunately, we'll get to that news a little bit later in the previews, but they're having a rough time right now, having a rough season.
Richard, what about Flag City? I'm not sure what you're talking about, buddy. Mark, we're hoping. I don't know if it's going to work out, but we're hoping that I can get to the championship game, wherever it may be, with Chris, and we can go live and do the show from the field, but not sure if we'll have the ability to get that set up. So 2 games that didn't take place was the Gators and the Bills. That was decided to give both teams, just a forfeit win. And then the Kentucky Wolfpack was supposed to play. Who were they supposed to play?
The Gators.
The Gators. Okay, yeah. The Gators and the Wolfpack were supposed to play. That was pretty much given a forfeit win for each team to give them a break. And then the Pit Bulls and the Bills were supposed to play, and that same thing. So those 2 games were not played this last weekend. But that is our Week 8 recap. We will preview Week 9 a little later, talk about some playoff games. So, oh no, we've been infiltrated. We've been infiltrated.
Hey, that's how you know you're doing your job right. When people just come in and randomly just spam on your live.
Hey, if you're gonna give us free stuff, Fahim Anwar, we'll take it. You're probably not even listening. And you send us all the free shit.
And since we're talking about manufacturer's supplier, shout out to Trinity Trifecta, who is the uniform sponsor of the PFA for all teams of the PFA.
Hang on.
I appreciate y'all reminding me to do my job. But yeah, like Mark said, definitely big implications to the I-75 series coming up this weekend, especially with the top 4 teams in the PFA going against each other for playoff implications and I-75 Bowl implications as well. But great games going to happen this weekend. Great games happened last weekend. We are slowly but surely moving towards the end of the season, which means we got end of the season awards coming, and we are going to be announcing the 2A part of the awards. I say 2. We're going to be announcing the 2A part of the awards next week's show, going into the playoffs, going to the playoff games, and then we would do the same as well with the 3A going into lower playoff games as well. So we will be having an offensive and defensive MVP for both divisions. And we also will be having a rookie of the year, a coach of the year, and an organization of the year. So again, the offense and defensive player of the year in both divisions will be, and hear me when I say this, will be stat-based. So this gives you, we're announcing this right now, so that gives you enough time. If you think you don't have any stats in from your organization, this is your chance to try to get them in as soon as possible. Because like I said, voting tallying will be commencing this weekend. Myself and Brian and the board will be getting together and getting all these things figured out. And because we are ordering awards, people, these are real things.
2A is pretty much.
We're just saying on the podcast, you are definitely going to receive an award for your performance this year for the PFA. So this is why we need the stats to come in ASAPP. Should already been in, but we are going to give you, me and Brian decide we're going to give you guys another week to try to get them into us, so that way we can cover everybody and give everybody an equal opportunity to try to have their name in the hat. Not only will we announce the winners, we also will announce the nominees also in that category as well, just so you know where everybody landed. I haven't posted. Brian has done a phenomenal job with the stats, as well as making graphics for the stats. I haven't posted them yet just because we haven't received everybody's stats, but we do have graphics already prepared that have the top list of passing, receiving TDs, rushing TDs, things of that nature. So next week is the big debut of everything. So please get your stats in as soon as possible, so that way you won't feel like you're left out, man.
2A is good. I think we got all the stats for the regular season for 2A, unless we're going to count the playoffs. I'm still getting all the 3A stats tallied. Next year, we will use Dave Smith's system full-time, but this year it was new, and we had some issues with how the rosters were formatted. So that's coming, teams. You're going to have to get with the program. So, yeah, we're actually –
if you're gonna be you might be one of those guys on the outside looking in next weekend. Don't be one of those guys. Get with your coaching staff, get with your owners, make sure you guys they got your stats turned in, especially for 2A. 3A, we still have some time.
2A is good. I got all the stats.
Good. Okay, so 3A, we need to make sure we get those stats in. But again, please, fellas, it helps us help you. We want to give everybody an equal opportunity to be able to be up for an award this season. Like you said, next season we'll be doing some more individual awards as well. So don't feel left out. Don't feel left out this season. Everything is a gradual build. Okay, so all the wide receivers and the running backs and the tight ends and the O linemen, DBs, quarterbacks. We will have individual awards next season. Okay, next season we will have individual awards. But I have been talking to Brian. What we might do for fun is we might go ahead and announce you guys our individual awards this year, as far as part of like our little rundown awards. So we'll be doing that probably during the 3A playoffs or maybe after towards the championship game. That'd be just something fun to do. We also might even I've been thinking about probably making we have to do our all-pro team. Now with that, usually we have the coaches and owners send in nominations. We probably still will do that. But me and Brian we'll probably make our own little fantasy team.
Yep. We'll do first team and second team.
Yeah, definitely do a first and second team. But just be on the lookout for that stuff. We are coming towards the end of episodes here, man. We're on number 18. It's just been a great journey. I appreciate all the support and everything like that. But when we come back, we are going to – do we have a guest already in the queue or did –
No, I don't know. We don't have a guest yet. But okay. Speaking of the number of shows, so we're going to go – we're on 18 now. So by the time the end of the playoffs, we'll be on show 24, and that's going to be our 2-hour grand finale. So we're going to get a bunch of guests on, and then show 25 is going to be a best of the rundown volume 1. So we'll be working on that. Chris and I will be pulling clips from all the shows, but episode 24, we're going to have anybody and everybody we can on the show. Just a big a round table of chatter and talking football and how the season went. But we don't have a guest on yet. But we are going to take a short break and we'll come right back. Reggie just joined, so Reggie's in the waiting room.
Yeah, he just hit me up.
Okay. So since he's here, we'll throw him on. Let's see. All right, we're back. And our first guest tonight is a man of many talents, I guess. He's probably one of the league leaders in interceptions. He's a running back. He's a wide receiver. Heck, I think he even played quarterback a couple times looking at the stats. But I definitely seen his name in almost every stat category this year. So, I mean, he's definitely a well-rounded athlete, obviously, and definitely a good, a great talent for the Pitbulls. So, without further ado, Mr. Reggie Rogers.
Reggie.
Can you hear us, Reggie?
How y'all?
What's going on, Reggie?
Yeah, can y'all hear me? How y'all doing today?
We're good. How are you, buddy?
Oh, now look, I'm at truck school.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, gotta do what you gotta do. But while we got you real quick, Reggie, I know you personally, you know what I'm saying? I know your pop, so I know your story a little bit more than others. How did you end up, how did your football career end up here with the Pitbulls and semi-pro, man?
Pro advancement, Chris.
Pro advancement, I'm sorry. Pro advancement football.
So, I went to Maston High School. Then from Maston, I went to Marshall. And from there, I just got in trouble. Recently just came home, did 6 years. And Jimmy gave me the opportunity to come join the team. And why not? Before I left, they was the Broncos. And then I kept hearing stories about the Pitbulls. And you know my dad, he ended up stepping down. But Jimmy ran, I'm talking about organization as perfect as you can this year, man. Through every situation that we had, he overcame them all. So, just getting right now, like the first game, my dad came to the game and he looked at me. He said, "Man, this is the first time I seen you smiling while you lost, man. You happy to be on the field," and I was, you know what I'm saying. But we at the playoffs now, and all of that. Hey, all of that is over with. We are about to win the championship. If y'all don't know, we are going to win the championship, y'all. Not being cocky, I'm not being anything, but
hey, that's why I love it, Reggie.
you are going to win the championship.
Like I said, I know you've been through a lot personally. Like you said, you just came home. You know what I mean? What kind of like you say, what kind of information or you know what I'm saying, advice would you give, you know, a kid that was in your position? Like I said, you was heavily recruited. I remember when you played at Massillon, and you know, then going on to Marshall. What advice have you been trying to give guys since you've been back home? That are in that position right now.
Since I've been at home, I've been going to speak. We got a middle school in Akron called Ennis Middle School. I've been going to speak there, and I go to Akron U and speak once a month. So I actually go tomorrow to Akron U to speak. But the best advice I can give anybody in life is to watch who your friends is. Literally, the best scenario would be if it's 5 of y'all and you the 5th one and y'all go to a store every day, or the first time, and 4 of your friends steal, and you don't, you feel good, like, that ain't what it is. But you keep being around them every day and y'all keep going to steal, and you know what I'm saying? Okay, you feel good. But then eventually, one of them times you might get desperate and you're like, man, let me go ahead and it's not for you. That's not your lane. Stay in your lane. You know what I'm saying? So when you get caught, you don't have no understanding. You like, man, but that ain't, you know what I'm saying? But people around you.
We're losing.
So
there he goes.
Watch your crowd. Watch who you have around you. And just be, you know what I'm saying? Be a leader. It's so many people, especially now. Like now that I be around kids, there's so many followers. Like they see stuff on the internet. See so many things that catch their eye. But what I do like what we're doing in right now, for speaking kids, we're getting a lot of people that's been in their shoes to speak to them, because most of the time too with the kids, with the school systems, it's a lot of teachers that don't understand these kids. You might be looking at the kid and be like, oh yeah, he 11 years old or he 12 years old. But he done lived a life that you know what I'm saying, you don't have no clue. Like it's like we literally are in this the struggles that they go through in life is crazy. Like they were other kids. And you want them to come in and focus on it's hard. You know what I'm saying? You got to, you know what I'm saying, get into their mind and understand where they come from. And that's where I love, you know, I got a chance to go in there, get my mind together. And now I got the opportunity, you know what I'm saying, to tell my story and to talk. Yeah, best advice is watch your friends. That's the best advice I can give anybody in life. Watch your friends. I learned the whole 6 years I was in there, I learned. Man, from people not answering phone calls, people not coming to see you, to just the journey. When I was going to Marshall, everybody was there. Let me get tickets for the games. Let me, you know what I'm saying? People now I don't even know. All the way down to, I think the whole time I was in there, I probably had 6 people come the whole 6 years.
Wow.
So
wow.
It's definitely an eye opener. It's definitely and I'm just using my hand now to prevent that.
Well, sure. Let's switch gears, man. Let's talk this week's football, man.
That, man. From a sports store, I got a
playoff game, Reggie. Y'all got the looks like y'all nemesis, the Wolfpack. You go down there. This is the 3rd meeting of the season. Y'all beat them twice. I hate to say it's like a little rivalry against Bruin here between the two teams. I've been in both games. What do y'all expect? I mean, I know y'all expectations is to win. You know, I mean, I'm not even gonna ask that question. But what do you look to how you look to impose your will this Saturday, man?
I'm looking to lead as far as attitude. I feel like the biggest thing is we're a young team, and a lot of times we might have one mistake, and it could be a simple mistake, and everybody's head goes down, or everybody gets to point fingers, or everybody gets accused and all of that. No, lead. As soon as I see it, nip it in the bud. No, we're not doing that. It's the playoffs. And I know the talent that we have. I know the team that we have. You know what I'm saying? I can identify each person, each position on the team, and know exactly what their strengths and weaknesses is. So it's just about leading. That's the only thing that we're missing so far this season. It's a lot of games that we were in and should have won.
Right.
But it's not no opportunities this week. It's not no opportunities to play with them. It's not no opportunity. Both games were close. It wasn't like we just won by blowout or no. Both games. The last game we had to come back in the fourth quarter to win. So it's literally about capitalizing. Defensive, we gonna get the turnovers. We're gonna get the mistakes. But offensively, we have to limit our mistakes as well. And if we do make a mistake, hey, it's literally play like it's no tomorrow because it's not no tomorrow. So
right,
we good. Pit Bulls good.
You got a question for him, Brian?
We good, y'all. We ready.
It's definitely going to be an intense game. Chris and I already know that, and you guys, like Chris said, you beat them twice already in the season. Do you feel like you have their number? You know, a lot of times you don't beat a same team 3 times in one season, but anything can happen, right? I don't think you heard me.
Any given Sunday. That's how I look at it. It's an opportunity. We going out there. I'm not underestimating anybody. I'm not underestimating anybody. So when we go out there, I'm going with the same mindset that we playing the best team in the world. Yeah, we beat them twice. That don't mean nothing.
Right.
This is a whole new season. So it's great that we beat them twice, but just the one that matters.
Well, man, I appreciate you taking the time out today, your schedule, man, to give us some insight, Reggie, man. As always, it's a pleasure talking to you, man, and good luck this weekend, man. I'll be at the game. I'll see you, man.
All right. Y'all have a good one. Thank you for having me.
You too, Reggie. Good luck Saturday. That was Reggie Rogers of the Neo Pit Bulls. What a great, story that he has to tell, and glad he's out there helping, talking to the youth and making sure that they're on the right track. Congratulations to him for his success, being a leader on the football team and stuff. And glad to see he's doing good. But I see Richards in the thing, but I don't see his face. I don't know if he's on video or not.
It's just always, every time I talk to Reggie, man, he just has a positive vibe about him, man. And just to hear his story, like I said, I've been around him since he was at Massillon, because I know his dad, Putty, of course. I played for Putty.
Okay.
So I've seen the kid. I've seen the highest of the high for him. And for his story to go the way it is, and this almost being like a redemption for him to be able to step back on the field and actually play the game that he loves to play, and that his choices took away from him. It was very resolved. I said, I was at the MCL, the clinic, and even though they lost to the Bucks, you can see the joy in his face, that he was just happy to be out there, and that's what professional development football for some people is about. That's what we like to provide for some people. And it was just a great thing to see. It's a great story to report to you guys. Reggie is a tremendous athlete and definitely one to be reckoned with if you're on the wrong side of the ball. So definitely want to find more stories like his from you guys in this league, and we want to put those good things out there. Like Brian said, he goes and he speaks at Akron U. He speaks to the high school kids and football players that were in his same position. And sometimes as an athlete, when you get to the top of the pinnacle and you happen to fall, sometimes I do feel it is your job to go back to your community and help that next person not make that mistake that you possibly made. So kudos to Reggie, and kudos for Jimmy to giving him the opportunity to play football for the Pitbulls. We're going to take a quick break, pay some more bills. When we come back, we're either going to have Mr. Richard Dabbert from the Phantoms, or we're going to go ahead and preview the games for next week. So we'll be right back.
Hey, y'all, this
All right, and we're back. I'm not sure what's going on. I don't know. I see him in the street in the waiting room, but I don't see his camera. And I tried to get him on the.
He had so much easy getting onto it earlier when I gave it to him. So I'm not sure what the problem is now.
Hey, Richard, if you're in the stream, so I don't know if you can hear us or not, but I don't see you on. I don't see your.
We are ready for you,
camera.
Mr. Richard, Coach Richard. But while we are waiting for you to show face, let's go ahead and get into these games we got coming up this week, man. Jesus pieces.
This game right here,
man.
Literally, the Bills and the Gators, a 1 point difference for the plus minus and points scored, points for that number 3 spot right now. According to my calculations, I'm pretty sure that I'm correct, but I will say I'm correct. So the Gators literally a 1 point edge over that spot. So this is a very important game, very big game for both teams. The Bills pull this out. I think they basically, get that number 3 spot at least.
And the Bills are sitting at number 3, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So the Gators, I want to make sure I'm saying this right.
No, they're actually number 4. The Bills are number 4. The Gators are 3. Yeah, the Gators are number 3.
Because I was about to say the Gators only have 2 losses, right?
They're 5-3.
5-3 in the conference.
Yeah.
And then the Bills are
5-3.
That's what it was. Okay. I don't know why I thought one of them was I only had 2 losses. So this is so definitely even with the point differential, the record itself is definitely what they're going to be fighting for as well. This is a huge game. Huge game. I know Mike Anderson and the boys, the Bills Mafia, definitely going to be up and ready for the task. Even though being a young team, this is definitely going to be a statement game for them. Gators are coming off of a disappointing loss against the BTA Rams. Had to take a week off because of some organizational issues, and hopefully are ready to come back and prove themselves as one of the elite teams in Michigan and put up a good game this weekend. I do expect I expect some points in this one. I know Bills Mafia definitely have a great defense, but Gators definitely have a high-powered offense with them at receiver, as we see in the stats, Brian, when we look at them every week. So I'm definitely I'm going to lean towards, I like a good upset, even though it's 3-4. I'm definitely going to go with the 4 seed. So I'm going to take the Bills in this one. I think this is their time to like I said, make a statement, hold down that 3 seed, get the win advantage over the Gators for the playoffs, and go ahead and take care of business this Saturday. Close game, but I got the Bills win.
I think that's a good point, Chris. I know the Gators are a great team. I just think the Bills have a little momentum going right now, and like you said, it's going to be a close game, but I think the Bills squeak it out and get the win. And depending on how many points are scored, will decide who gets that spot. Well, this game, Wah, wah.
It is with great sadness and disappointment that we here at the Rundown have the unfortunate honor of breaking this bad news to the football community. The Cincinnati Bucks have informed the league as of about an hour ago that they will be forfeiting this game against the Cleveland Rams due to lack of commitments for travel.
Sad.
Travel. So this gives the Rams an automatic win coming into this week. Again, this is very sad because the Bucks have been somewhat of a golden child in the PFA's eye ever since last season when they played in the championship game, and it just seems like there has been nothing but turmoil for them this whole season. Most of it doing with lack of commitment, as well as controversial between coaches and players. So hopefully the forfeit week gives them time to assess and reevaluate and get ready for next week's game and also the playoffs. So this is not a fold by any means by the Sin City Bucks. This is merely a forfeit game. So there will not be a game against the Cleveland Rams this week for the PFA.
All righty. Next game we have, this is going to be a good game. The Racine Raiders against the Glass City Tigers. But the question is, which Glass City Tigers team will show up, Chris? And will they be able to hang with the Racine Raiders? They are at home, so Racine is going into hostile territory, so to speak. But will Glass City be able to hang with Racine like Flag City did last week? What do you think?
I mean, I tell everybody that the best way to get a top team like this is to get them away from home. It's your best shot. If you play them at home, you're playing to their advantage. Play them at your house, they're playing to your advantage. So this is a perfect situation for Glass City. Like I said, to rebound off of last week's loss, and try to catapult them some momentum going into the playoffs. You beat a team like this, it's definitely going to give you, a pumped out chest. It's going to give you a lot of confidence for real. Do I see it happening? I got to be honest with you. I don't see it happening. Racine just has too much firepower, too much to go with. So I'm definitely taking Racine and a pick 'em. But I'm definitely looking forward to Glass City to give them a hell of a game. Coach Henderson and the boys will try to do their best and their damnedest to come out with the dub. Richard said he is – can you see him? He said he's in the chat.
I seen him, but the screen's black. So I don't know what he's trying to what he's using to get on, but that might be the problem. He might need to – I don't know if he's on a phone or what.
I'm asking him now.
I still don't see him. He's in there. But his camera's blank, so I don't know if his camera's not on or what's going on. Let's see.
I'm letting him know, so I figure it out.
Okay.
He said he's using his phone.
What kind of phone? Remind him if he's using an iPhone, he has to copy paste. I mean, if he wasn't doing it right, it wouldn't let him in.
I mean, I told him to copy and paste all the way together. He should be doing it right. I think he just needs to. He's got an Android.
Okay, he might have to use Chrome to open it. I know it's a pain in the ass. I'm trying to find other streaming services, but I'm not sure if we're going to be able to find one that's not $100 a month to pay for. So
he said he is using Chrome.
Check
his camera settings.
Yeah, I mean, he might be able to hear us, but he's not on the screen. So, can he hear us talking?
Yeah, he can hear us talking because he's responding to what we're saying when I message
him. Okay. So the next game.
Appreciate you, Mr. Robinson, for the chat. He said Phantom had Racine on the ropes.
Yep, definitely did.
What we got next? Oh, here we go with the spammers
again,
bro.
All right, I'm going to cuss them out.
The spammers, Militali Aprilia.
Excuse my language in the chat, people.
I don't know who you are. We don't know who you are. You're not showing any games of the PFA. We don't have any broadcast stream with you whatsoever. And this is coming directly from the media team. We don't know who you are.
Nice try, Malati Aprila. Not even a real name.
Nah.
If you're going to try to scam somebody, use a real name at least.
Terrible.
We don't want your streaming services. We don't want the damn uniforms. Get out of my chat.
It's sad because when I go live on Saturdays when I'm at these games, you have I at least block like 5 or 6 within like the first 5 minutes of my live popping up. But hey, it's okay. It's a part of what happens when you're growing a platform. People see you have a lot of followers. Everybody wants to try to jump on and try to do something, do some ill towards our fan community.
Yep.
So run down.
Unfortunately, people fall for the scams, though. That's the sad thing.
Yeah, shout out to the Pitbulls for jumping into the chat.
All right, last game.
The Phantoms O-line coach on here right now.
Oh, that's not the last game. Okay. Last game were the 3A is the Detroit Ravens 8-0 versus the 7-1 Motor City Rams. Another important game, especially for the Rams. If the Rams lose, depending on how the score looks, it could mean that I mean, it's a far-fetched situation, but
listen, BTA needs this win more than anybody. It will force the Ravens to be in a tie with them, and whatever happens towards the last week. This is their chance to possibly take home field advantage away from the Ravens.
No, they won't.
Which
they won't take
it. If you've taken notice, if everybody's been watching, the away games, the Ravens haven't really been scoring that well away. Okay, they haven't been scoring that well away. At home, dominant as hell. So the best thing you can do if you're trying to beat this team in the playoffs is not to do it at their house. So this is a prime opportunity for Motor City to actually give them a loss, be tied at the number 1 spot, and possibly beat them in point differential. Because I'm pretty sure the Ravens they're far ahead. So the win is desperately needed. The win is desperately needed. Because we look at the tiebreaker first, then points.
Well, if they go to points, the Ravens are going to get
the
it all
Ravens are
day.
going to kill them. So you got to win this game. You got to win this game. Got to. And I know, listen, I'm probably going to get scandaled. I know, Jerry.
Jerry's going to be on your neck,
probably going to put me on a meme here in a second. But I'm going to say this right now. I want a freaking good playoff game. I want somebody to knock the king down. BTA, I'm riding with the boys this week. I'm taking you in my pick'em. Do what needs to be done and put a 1 in that column and bring the Kings down to the peasants. Bring them down. You are the last hope. I plead to you right now. You are the last hope in this season to actually notch a dub, in my eyes, in my opinion, on BTA. You have all the weapons. You played them already in championship games. You've come up short. This is your chance to right or wrong and take them over and take the number 1 seed over. This is your chance. I'm riding with you. Like I said, Jerry's gonna have me all over the place. I don't care.
Jerry, If you're watching, Jerry, if you're watching, Chris is going to be in a meme. I can feel it. But guess what? I've been sticking with the Ravens all season. I'm not changing my mind. And Chris just got booted off the chat. That's what happens when you go against the champ. Chris, we're waiting for Chris to come back. And, so I'm taking the Ravens in this game. I don't see the Rams beating them. It could be close, and I may be wrong. If I'm wrong, I will retract my statement next week. Chris, where'd you go, man? Chris. The next game we have, playoff game number 1. We have the number 1 seed Flag City Phantoms for 2A against number 4 seed Lima Warriors in 2A as well, who got their first win last week. And we'll wait for Chris to jump back on. So it's going to be a good game. I think Lima gave them a run the first half last time they played. But they got some momentum this time with their first win, so they might be riding on that cloud for a little bit, and we'll see how they do against the Phantoms again this week. It could get interesting, but I'm sticking with the Phantoms on this one. I'm going to pick them to go to the championship. They've been our pick for pretty much for the whole year to go to the championship. I don't see that changing this week. By some miracle, and Lima does pull it out, it'll be a crazy thing to talk about come next week. So I'm picking the Phantoms. I'm sure Chris was going to pick the Phantoms, but we'll go back once he gets back on. We'll see what he says about that. Richard, I see you in there again, but I don't see your camera. So we'll just bring you on without the camera. If you can still hear us and we can hear you, we'll still be able to talk to you. But give us just a second, and when Chris gets back on, I'm hoping his phone didn't die. Let's see. He's responding. He says, he lost me, and I lost him, so I don't know what's going on. But the second playoff game, number 2, Wolfpack take on the number 3, Neo Pitbulls. The Pitbulls have beat Wolfpack twice this year. Will they beat them the third time? We don't, a lot of teams don't do that in the season, but it is the playoffs, so everybody's at 0-0. Hang on, Chris. I'll send you another link. Hang on. Trying to get Chris back in here. What do you guys think in the chat? Who do you got for 3A this week? If you can hear me, if you guys are in the chat, let us know who you got. There he is.
Hey, see,
he's back.
I swear. Listen, that's what happens when I go against the grain. Technical difficulties.
See, Jerry was watching. I almost thought Flag City kidnapped you again, but we hadn't talked about Flag City's game, so
they try it too.
We left off with the playoff games, Flag City versus Lima. I'm sticking with Flag City. Lima's the up-and-coming team, I feel. They got their first win last week. They got some momentum going. They could be riding that cloud, but if the Flag City Phantoms, I just feel like they're going to come in with purpose and beat them. So, the Flag City Phantoms have been one of our picks to go to the championship for 2A all season, Chris. So I'm sticking with them this week. Who do you got?
Well, I'm definitely going to stay with the Phantoms. But I'm looking for a good game, a better game out of this. Is the second time they played each other. First time they played each other during the regular season, they gave them a good first half. I think they were only down by a touchdown. So I'm definitely, and that was under the old regime. So I'm definitely looking for a tougher game. Like the coach said, Coach Christensen has been working on offense, gotten it to go a little bit better. So we're going to be seeing a whole new line of Warriors in this game. But I'm still going to go with the Phantoms. Still going to go with them and host the championship game against the winner of the Northern Kentucky Pitbulls game. So definitely looking for them to, assert their dominance in this game early and get it over with and be able to sit their starters the rest of the half.
Speaking of the Pitbulls and the Wolfpack, that is the second game of the 2A playoffs. It's a tough game, man. I mean, the Pitbulls beat them twice in the season already. Last week's game was a tough, gritty, tense game. A lot of emotion, a lot of, I wouldn't say animosity, but maybe a little bit. So the question is, which team is going to not be focused if they're, if the Wolfpack comes in trying to, be all tough, they may sleep on the Pitbulls, and the Pitbulls may sneak that win out and end up in the championship game. Like Reggie said, they're not thinking anything less. So it could be an interesting game, man.
I'm over here trying to get the coach on. He said he's in the lobby. You see him yet?
No, he's not now. He left. I'm not sure what's going on with his. I told him we can't see him, but we could probably still hear him. We'll try to talk to him anyways.
Yeah, let's do that.
All right. So if he gets back in, we'll bring him on. But
this game, bro, this is both games. You got a rivalry game over there with Lima and the Phantoms. And this game is definitely turning into a rivalry game. Both these teams, for some reason, whether it's coaching, players, they do not. There's something about they don't like each other. These games have been close. These games have definitely been physical battles. Definitely have had some personal fouls, some seriousness going on. So this is the third round. I'm taking the Pitbulls, and I'm really taking the Pitbulls just because in both games. I watched the first game, Pitbulls assert their dominance as far as running the ball. Wolfpack had no answer. In this last game, I saw the Pitbulls assert their dominance on the defensive end, holding a Wolfpack team who had scored 4 straight games of 50 points down to 12. So I'm riding with the Pitbulls. I'm hoping to see a Pitbull Phantom rematch in the championship game. So I'm rolling with the Pitbulls. Wolfpack just better luck next season.
Jimmy said, "I love the Wolfpack."
Jimmy's always going to go for anybody but himself. I'm used to that.
Well, Richard was in now he's gone again. I don't know what's going on.
He's disappearing.
I wonder if it's his connection or something that keeps booting him out of the stream. It's definitely not us. Yeah, we're gonna.
That's that Android life. I live iPhone life.
We're gonna look into a different streaming program next year, but I don't know how lucky
I don't know about that life there, sir.
If we don't get you on this week, Richard, we'll definitely get you on next week. We'll try to get you a connection and stuff like that. So
yeah,
the playoff
to get on for a minute. But our 2A.
I didn't pick a 3A game. We didn't pick a 3A game yet, but I figured this was a doubleheader. So,
well, I'm not gonna lie, man. That 3A game of the week, man, it is so hard to choose from. I mean, you definitely would want it to be the Ravens against BTA. That's our number 1 against number 2. But I mean, all 4 games, 2 games. I'm sorry, all 2 games mean so much for that 3A division. The Bills against the Gators and the Rams against the Ravens. But if we had to pick one, I definitely would lean towards the game of the week being the Ravens against BTA, just because that is for the number 1 seed, basically in our game.
All right.
Definitely for 2A, it's the playoffs. So every game is going to be important as far as the 2A game of the week is concerned. These are we only have one round of playoffs before the championship game. So these are basically conference finals. All right. So
hey, there's Fred Smith, always jumping in.
Fred?
But Richard's in the chat now, or in the group, or in the lobby now. So let's get him on. We're going to bring on Richard Daubert, the offensive line coach of the Flag City Phantoms. Richard, can you hear us?
Can you hear us, Richard? We see you. We see your thing. Turn your. Can you hear us though? We can't hear you. You got to say something. He said, "Yeah, I can."
Is your mic muted? Maybe.
You gotta. That reminded me of Sister Act when she was like, "I'll but check your battery."
What's going on, Fred? How you doing, buddy?
Appreciate you tapping in tonight, Fred. And we also like to appreciate everybody who has tapped into the live. Please do like and subscribe. Please share. We are now almost up to 1.7 K followers. We appreciate every single one of you.
Close to 100 on YouTube. I think we got like 78. So
we appreciate the hell out of you guys because it helps us to be able to do what we do and deliver content. So thank you so much. And again, please, if you haven't, share to your friends, share to your families. But as always, please jump in our chat. And when we do live, and let us know what team you play for, where you from, and we make sure we shout you out, man. Here is the bracket for our 2A conference playoffs, sponsored by the PFA. First of all, it's a cool graphic.
Thank you, Nicole Schick, from our one of our graphic designers. She does a great job from creating something from my chicken scratch kindergarten drawings. That's what she created. So I appreciate her translating what I show her that I want into something cool that looks like that. But okay, let's try this again. We're gonna bring Richard on. Richard, can you hear us? Richard?
I see a play button in front of his screen. I don't know what that means. I don't know if we should push it.
I don't see it.
I see a play button. Like is he paused? Is he on mute? It's something he's got to be doing over on that side.
Oh, see, it just disappeared again. But anyways,
Richard.
We're gonna try to get you on next time, Richard. It's about time for our show to be over. So we'll be back next week. Thank you to Reggie Rogers for joining us. Fred, it's okay. Getting a job lined up for, hey, job's more important than watching our show, buddy. Life and family, and we were kind of running behind too. So, Richard, you got one job, bro. Denzel.
Hey, Denzel. Listen, I'm going to put it out there because I wasn't. Denzel, he's been bugging me for 3 weeks, probably longer, to be on the show. Now, granted, we always have interviews lined up, but he has been on my heels to be on the show. I finally get him to tell him what day he's going to be on. I send him everything, all this information, and my man is having a technological fart right now. He is not able to finish strong. So I need you to report back to the rest of the fellas, okay, that we couldn't get him on. It has nothing to do with the rundown. We were trying our best, but it seems like his Android does not want to cooperate with us today, Mr. Denzel.
That's why I switched to iPhones like 20 years ago.
Not want to work with us.
Android. So, we'll get you on next week after 18 shows.
We'll he decides back on before the championship game.
He decides he wants to get on after 18 shows. Dudes don't know how to work electronics nowadays. He's got to get right with the new era stuff. Ain't that the truth? As almost as bad as my mom trying to.
Chat again with the
he got the Temu phone. Hey, you know what?
He's shopping
$299 for the Temu phone plus $75 to ship it all the way from China. That's not bad because definitely. And let's give this caveat or disclaimer to our show, Chris, because sometimes feelings get hurt.
Yes, they do.
From what we say, and if you take anything that we say to heart,
right,
that's on you. That's a you problem. So
let's take it even further. Let's take it even further, Brian, because I'm here for the shenanigans before we get off, and we got some people in the chat.
Okay,
score more. All right,
that's the Phantom's new logo or slogan, right?
And no disrespect to anybody, but hear me when I say this. I'm getting tired of hearing people complain about referees. As a former player, it gets on my nerves.
That's exactly right, Fred. F their feelings. That's so how I feel.
Say score more, I mean exactly that. And usually I used to say it in a stronger term. But it's not appropriate nowadays to say it. But I used to say you got to take it. You got to take it from them. Okay, it's not appropriate to say nowadays. So we just say score more. But you want to take it out of their hands. You want to take it out of the ref. So whatever they do, it doesn't matter. Score more points, man. Score more. And if you got a problem with anybody saying that, then you have a problem with yourself. Because if you are willing to let another man decide your destiny, then you're not doing your part.
That's true, Fred.
I'm sorry. I'm getting tired. And don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that every single referee call is right. I'm not saying that referees don't make mistakes. What I'm saying to you is I'm sick and tired of that always being the narrative. I'm sick and tired of, we lost because of the refs. No, nigga, you lost because you lost.
Jimmy said, "Oh Jesus, don't get Aaron started." Aaron's my boy.
You lost because you probably made a bad call on this third down. You lost because your homeboy didn't wrap up on this tackle on a crucial play. You lost because of this. You did not lose because the ref called false start or called a delayed game on you. No, okay, you didn't lose because of that. So stop making it. It's irritating, bro. It's irritating as hell that people just keep on blaming the referees. When you gonna take some accountability for yourself? When you gonna say, you know what? I didn't play my 100% the way I should have. I only played.
Or I let that other opposing.
I didn't get my block right on this play. I missed, and my quarterback got sacked. Take some goddamn accountability.
Or the opposing player did this to me, but I retaliated and got caught by the referee, and I got ejected. Stupidness. Yeah.
Stupid.
It is what it is, regardless
Everybody
of
knows
if
they're always going to catch the second person.
Yeah,
Stupid.
just like in school, when somebody hits you and you hit them back, you always get busted for the person that's defending. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on now.
But then your next thing's going to be, well, man, the referees got, bro. That would have happened in any game across the nation. If they see the second person and hit the person, they're going to sit there and call it flag. What? It has nothing to do with them. They hating on us. They don't want to see it. No, dummy. I'm sorry, bro. That's my. I'm tired of it, bro. It's been going on all season.
Oh, I know. Every week. It's
been going on. And this, I mean, it ain't got too much to do with the Phantoms, but it's everybody in general, bro. I'm sick of it, bro. I'm sick of everybody blaming the referees. I'm tired of it. Play the game, bro. If you play the game, you leave it all out there on the field. You're not going to worry about what referee did because you're going to know you gave it 110%. You put it all out there. You left it out there, and the cards going to fall where they fall. Stop blaming the referees, bro.
In the words of a player that I know from Fort Wayne, Kayvon Anderson, do your 1/11th and just play the damn game. Stop worrying about the other team did this, the other team did that. Do your job, and you're friends with all the refs. Shut up, Jimmy.
Jimmy is not friends. I know a ref in particular that he is definitely not friends with. He won't be refereeing any other games in PFA, but I know one that definitely didn't like Jimmy for sure.
Well, we won't talk anymore about that because we don't want to get everybody upset and mad at us again, or mad at me again.
I had to put that out there, Brian, because that's just we've been going through that all season, and that, like we said, we even have a segment called "What the Flag." That I even put up stuff sometimes, and we say, "Hey, is this a good call or bad call?" So no, it's not that we're always on the side of the refs, but you know what I won't do? I won't sit there and blame the ref for me losing. That's what I won't do. That's what I won't do.
You lost because you didn't score more.
So I'm just I can't listen. It's sad when that's all you got to hang your hat on, and I guess that's why it pisses me off. You won't take. No, Denzel, I'm putting up to the championship game. I won't be at this game. I'll be at the. I have to babysit a game. I have to go and make sure everything is done correctly. I have to make sure people act certain ways. So I will be at the Northern Kentucky Pitbull game.
Don't act out of pocket.
Anybody watching, you heard what I just said, and I meant what I said. I have to watch grown men play football correctly.
Yep.
Because some people don't know how to just play football. They have to do extracurricular things. If you want to do that, go join the UFC. But I will be at the championship game. So Phantoms, hopefully, God willing, you win this game, and you'll be, I'll see you there. But I'll definitely be at the championship game, and I definitely will be going live for that. So that's my spew. Y'all gonna get me started.
All right.
I tell you, I don't say a lot. Brian knows I don't say a lot of things on our show. I keep y'all real, you know what I'm saying, real dull with what I gotta say. Some of the times y'all gonna hear my mouth. Y'all definitely gonna hear my mouth. And
both of our faces are gonna be on Aaron Sanders' next shirt saying scoreboard.
Listen, I'm not listen, and the fact that he even put it on the flyer does not even bother me. It actually helps push the narrative of freaking scoring more points. So thank you for putting it out there. I appreciate that. Okay, and I wouldn't even be surprised if Aaron did have a shirt. It would make this so much even better. Okay,
right.
It would.
Right. Or the screen starts smoking and Chris disappears and the chair spins and Aaron's sitting in the basement rocking in a chair. Like a.
Hey, don't get me started too. The White Six came back, and I'm all over everywhere. I'm everywhere right now with that.
The what came back?
White Six. The White Six came back. They Uncle Howdy. They.
Oh yeah.
Yes. I'm totally invested. Totally invested right now.
You know what? I also WWE signed a contract with the Indie Sports Authority or whatever to bring SummerSlam, WrestleMania, and Survivor Series to Indianapolis. That's gonna be crazy.
So I'm definitely got to go to one of them. I'm mad I'm missing SummerSlam. It's right here in Cleveland this summer. I didn't even know. So I'm mad about that. But Indiana's right there. Definitely gonna go ahead and make that trip. I might go ahead and try to plan to take my son to WrestleMania because to me that's the biggest one. I'll take my son. I'll try to. You got to plan. You got to start buying tickets for that right now.
Right.
Because I'm planning to buy tickets for the WrestleMania. I've been to a WWE event like as a kid, but I've never been to like a PP. I've never been to one of the pay-per-views.
Right.
Been to one of those.
I went to SmackDown when it came to Indianapolis. I was there when the Undertaker threw Stone Cold Steve Austin through the window. Yeah, it was pretty cool. But I haven't been to one in a while. I try to get approved to shoot pictures there, but for some reason, I know
we also got some Viking riders going to WWE in Dayton, July 15th. Shout out to all our people who watch, who messes with the WWE. Me and Brian love wrestling. You know what I'm saying?
That's right.
Often. So shout out
Cody
to
Rhodes.
I can't help it. I love it. But
all right.
That's going to do it for tonight, man. We appreciate everybody for tapping in. We appreciate all our sponsors for sponsoring. Everybody have a safe and productive weekend. Play hard, play strong, play fast.
Score more.
Said Booker T. Yeah, sucker.
Five time.
I'm your host, Chris Cousins. It's my man with the plan, Brian Mitchum over here, as always, on my side. And it's the rundown, man. Catch us if you can.
Next week.